Hey, good morning, friends. I impulse bought the Saucony Sinister. For those of you who don't know this shoe, I think it came out in 2023, maybe. It's kind of basically a racing flat from Saucony. It has 25 millimeters in the heel, 19 in the forefoot, and it's a full 100% power run PB. No plate, no rods, nothing like that. So kind of like an old school, almost like a track spike or a road flat, I guess. It's about 20% lighter weight than my next lightest shoes. Well, my next lightest two shoes, the Topo Cyclone 2 and the Brooks Hyperion 2, which I'm wearing for warm up to the track this morning. So it's crazy lightweight. I'm gonna do a 5K time trial this morning. I haven't really tried to run a fast 5K in 4 or 5 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. And I did not run it in a shoe like this. So there's a SLU Medical Center track is about 2 miles from my apartment building. Perfect warm up. I was doing some of my track workouts there during my first Hanson's block over the summer and into the fall for my half marathon. That was on November 3rd. It really is just, I live situated so perfectly to get to that track for warm up, to get to Tower Grove Park for workouts, to get to Forest Park for my long runs. So anyhow, I'm gonna warm up for 2 miles, get to the SLU track, pop these babies on, and try and do a quick track 5K. And I haven't worn this shoe yet. It is perfectly clean. Couldn't help myself. Saucony was running that 25% off site-wide, and they just happened to have this in my size. It was like one of the only 2 sizes still available was my size 11.5. So I picked it up for just over $100 or so. I'm gonna see how this thing does. I already tried it on. Crazy lightweight. I was skeptical about the toe box having enough room, for even like enough comfort for like a shorter, 2-mile race or a 5K, but it felt all right on step in. We'll see how it feels at the track. I got this cool little tier bag that Tier sent me when I got the Speedworks a while back. They just sent it to me, some kind of promo. It's kind of a cool little track bag or gym bag. So I'll just throw these babies in there, throw it on my back, and warm up for 2 miles to SLU. The last few days, I've been wearing those 2 lightweight shoes I just mentioned for daily miles, the Cyclone 2 and the Hyperion 2. Those are usually, my speed shoes for shorter workouts, including track workouts or some shorter lactate intervals. And some of you know that I like the Cyclone 2 so well, I've run some half marathons in it. So I know it can go the distance, but normally my everyday shoe is the Hoka Mach 5. I've got several pairs of them, and it is not that much higher stack than the Cyclone 2 and the Hyperion 2. But although it's considered a lightweight daily trainer or a lightweight tempo shoe, the Topo and the Brooks are substantially less weight. They just feel so light on foot for daily miles. I did a couple of just normal 6-mile easy jogs in the Hyperion 2 this last week. And I think a 7 and an 8-miler in the Cyclone 2. They're not very expensive shoes. A little bit more than your base daily trainers, but anyhow, I'm wearing those Hyperion 2s now. You definitely get some good ground feel in these, but not as much as that Saucony Sinister is gonna give me at the track. I didn't want to wear it for warm up and cool down though. A lot of reviewers say it's not built for much more than a 5K. So I'm gonna trust them on that. If I don't look here, I'm gonna slip and bust my butt. It snowed here the last few days and there's still some on the ground. It's only about 40 degrees right now, pretty nice morning. Let's head to the track. I hope there's no ice on the track still. Otherwise I might have to abort this workout, just do some easy miles. But anyway, I'll be there pretty soon. The track looks beautiful. Not seeing any ice. And I'm only seeing one other human being. Mostly got the place to myself. There's a cold breeze, but it really isn't too bad. I'm not even gonna need my fleece. Like I said, I ran a couple of easy runs in these brooks last few days. These things only have about 30 miles on them. But I caught my toe on a buckled sidewalk. Got a pretty nasty blister here on the upper. I was surprised that it hurt the upper that much. I did crash to the ground. It wasn't really violent. One of those trips where, like, you know, you think your legs are gonna catch up, and for me, normally they do, thankfully. But this time not, and I went to the ground. Didn't really skin my hands too badly, but yeah, I hope this upper you know, has some durability for a good 200 or 300 miles at least. We'll see. I don't fall very often when I run, so hopefully this is just an outlier here, but curious as to whether anyone else has, you know, had any scuffs on their Hyperion 2 uppers like this. Anyhow, let's get the Sinister out. This thing came with 2 pairs of laces. Oh, there's a little wind. It might knock my phone over. It came with some gray laces, which I have on, a more conservative look, and it came with some laces that are the color of the midsole here, this bright fluorescent kind of orange. All right. Let's see how easy it is to get my foot into here. It's actually a lot easier than you'd think for a shoe this minimal. It was much easier to get my foot in there than, say, oh, the Adidas Boston 12. Notorious shoe that those who love it know they have to wrestle their feet into that. Easier to get my foot into this than the New Balance Pacer V2 also. That shoe is also not too easy. A little easier than the Boston 12, I would say, but yeah, the midfoot feels really narrow for sure on this. And I have a average to slightly on the narrow side of average foot. It feels very, very secure here. It doesn't feel like it's constraining or like my foot hurts. The upper feels kind of stretchy all over. You can kind of see where my toe is. These are my normal size, 11.5. I feel like they fit. They have that signature, you know, tapered toe that Sauconys have, but that's what you would want on a race flat. So I think for 5K that won't bug me. My pinky doesn't feel too unhappy yet, but of course this is just step and feel. So look at those clouds in the background for you. That crisp, almost winter day, not quite winter. This tongue is real stretchy, kind of like the Brooks Hyperion 2. It's just one of these real, you know, and there actually is a little padding back here on the heel. There's of course not a rigid heel counter really, but there is some it's kind of hard for you to see, but there is a little bit of padding right here, and it's pretty comfortable, I gotta say. These socks I'm wearing are some Balegas I bought a few weeks ago. It's like kind of their thinnest, raciest sock. I forget the name of it, but I've never worn them either. So here I am today doing a time trial in a new shoe and a new sock. How bad could it be? How bad could I blister from a 21 or 22 minute run? Guess we'll find out. Shoes feel a little bit on the loose side, actually. Definitely a low volume upper, as you would expect in a shoe like this, but they stretch well. I haven't worn a shoe like this since cross-country days in high school. This kind of shoe is a dying breed. Everybody want to wear a Vaporfly for like a 2-mile race. But I suspect this kind of shoe, if anybody continues to make them, will be popular with the high school kids maybe, I don't know. Alright, here goes nothing. Just shy of 21 minutes. Ran about a 6:30 on the first mile, about a 6:50 on the second, and then I think I got a little faster on the third, so that's promising. It's a cool track shoe. A couple more folks out here now. A couple folks putting the work in.
Got a question for you.
What's up? This is the Saucony Sinister. It was released about in 2023. So I got them on sale on Saucony's like Black Friday last week. They might be mostly gone, but if you look on like
I was looking at the
Running Warehouse, you might be able to find them somewhere.
I was looking at like the stack height and how flat they are.
They're like 25 in the heel and like 19 in the forefoot. P-Max foam. This was my first run on them. They're pretty cool.
They look light as hell too.
Yeah, they are.
They're
lighter than the Mach 6, yeah.
Alright, okay.
They are. Yeah, check them out. It's called the Sinister.
Sinister.
Sinister. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
What's your name?
What?
What's your name?
I'm Kent.
Kit? Oh.
Paul? Have a great workout. There you go. Saucony Sinister out here turning heads. It's such a cool track shoe. It feels fairly firm. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to know that was Piba foam. It does not feel, it feels much firmer than the Cyclone 2. It's kind of similar to the Hyperion 2, I would say. It's not like extremely firm, but it's what you want for keeping those feet popping, keeping the toe off. I felt like I was kind of heel striking there. On my easy runs lately, seems like I've been trending more towards forefoot striking on my easy runs. Last few weeks, it felt like I was tap dancing one night, a few nights ago in my Cyclone 2s. Tap dancing for 8 miles. It was a great run. But at this faster pace, sub 7 minutes, I was heel striking more. They're a cool shoe. Oh, I don't think I saved my activity yet. I want to get credit. No, I did. Training effect, VO2 max. Yeah, no kidding. Some anaerobic effects too, which is rare for me. Garmin 265 is always telling me I have an anaerobic shortage. Like, I know. But I'm not training for the 1500 or the 800. So am I gonna keep this shoe? I don't know. I'll probably keep it and run a few. There's a 5K I want to run this winter, and also a 2 mile. Could be a really cool shoe for that. Is it gonna be faster than? I also just got a pair of secondhand Rocket X2s on eBay, the black and rainbow. Tried them on last night. They feel pretty great. They're heavier. You get that plate assist, but they're about 245 grams in my size 11.5. These Sinisters are 166. Insane. I have to say they didn't feel tight on my feet, especially my left foot. Felt like it was a little looser, and too loose as it turns out, because before mile 1 was over, they came untied. I was kind of pissed about that, but It only took about 10 seconds or less to retie him. I had not double knotted them, and I didn't double knot him when I retied him. I just kind of like pulled it tighter, and they were fine the rest of the run. So it's actually the first time all year I can remember laces coming untied during a run. First time. So anyway, I think I'll keep him. Man, that guy, Paul was his name? He's flying. So anyway, I think I'll hang on to him, run a few races in him this winter. And then if I decide I want to just lean more into marathon and half marathon training next year, then maybe I'll put him up on the Supwell Marketplace. This colorway seemed to be a little harder to find now. You can find that kind of fluorescent green one a few places maybe still, but I don't know, I haven't looked in a week or so. Anyhow, I'm gonna lace up the Hyperion 2s and head back home. All right, 2 miles of cool down to get home. After I got these Brooks back on, I saw that Paul was finishing his workout too, so I went over and chatted to him about his Mach 6, because I love to talk about the Machs. He said he loved the Mach 5 like me, but found the outsole wore down too quickly. He couldn't get much more than 200 miles on him. He says he's a 4-foot striker, and he just wore down the 4-foot of those babies. And he said he was skeptical of the Mach 6 at first, kind of the weight gain, but he's really appreciated the extra support. He said he's really appreciated the extra support of the Mach 6 and the outsole. And he's been able to do, he said it's been a versatile shoe for him, that he can do short, quick workouts on the track like he was today, but he said he has also taken it for easy long runs, 14 to 16 miles, and has found it great for that. So crowdsourcing a little hobby jogger wisdom there. Always love hearing from others, from y'all in the forum. But yeah, didn't expect to have a nice interaction on the track today. Some shoe chat. Hope I see him again there soon. Anyhow, my battery's running low because I left that video going during my whole 5K. So I'm gonna sign off. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Get out there and get those miles today. Fast or slow, short or long, put that work in. Little J jogging here. Whoops. I just wanted to share one more thought with y'all on the Sinister. When I started that 5K, I don't know if my watch was bugging or what, but it said I was quickly got down to like a 5:20, 5:30 pace. did not feel like I was making that much effort. But I haven't seen that pace come across my watch all year long, even doing strides and stuff. So, all right, my arm's tired now, and I want to eat this donut. Hello again, friends. So I was watching my footage from yesterday and realized that my initial impressions on the Saucony Sinister may not have sounded like a resounding endorsement. It sounded a little middling maybe to you, but I wanted to come back and just firmly say that yes, I would recommend this shoe if you are looking for a minimal track speed day shoe. In the video, I said that I will do this for use this shoe for some races this winter. I think I may. The carbon plated racers may still be a little bit faster, and these days in 2024, maybe most people who can at least afford it anyway will choose a lighter weight carbon racer for really trying to set those PRs. But I still think the Sinister is a worthy shoe, that throwback kind of racing flat shoe for people who really like ground feel, really like to feel that flexibility all throughout the shoe through their stride, and who believe that they need to periodically feel that ground feel, that proprioception, as they call it, to give a certain stimulus to your feet and all the way up your legs and into your hips even, that a more rigid shoe like a carbon plated racer may not be able to provide. So the question then is, what does the Sinister offer over my next two favorite track day shoes? Well, of course it is a bit lower stack and more minimal in profile. Certainly the upper, more tapered toe box as well, and it's just so lightweight. Now I realized after shooting video yesterday that the Hyperion 2 is almost as low stack. I believe it's 26 in the heel and 18 in the forefoot, which is actually 1 millimeter lower in the forefoot than even the Saucony Sinister, despite being significantly heavier. That's about the only shoe that you could say that about the Hyperion 2 in comparison with, because it's certainly not a heavy shoe. None of these three shoes are even close to heavy. All of them are going to be excellent track day shoes. In the Supple app a little while back, I did a first run review, or maybe a first track day review of the Hyperion 2, and said, wow, this is a great track shoe. This is my new track shoe. And I thought, I found it. But like many of you, I couldn't avoid the temptation to keep adding to my stable. So I think even if I just do one or two races in the Sinister, I will probably still hang on to it for those track days, because I really did love the ground feel it gave me. I thought that it was going to be really compromised on comfort, not only just the underfoot cushion, but also in that narrow toe box and just all around my foot. I thought maybe my foot will hurt even after just a 5K in it. It didn't. I gotta say, both my feet were comfortable the whole time. It felt really true to size. I never once felt like my toes were bunched up in the end, or cramming into the end, or like my pinky was getting smashed by the upper, anything like that. The upper certainly is form-fitting, and it does kind of lie on top of your feet, but it doesn't feel suffocating. It doesn't feel like it's like your feet are shrink-wrapped, so to speak. These two are pretty similar. The Sinister and the Hyperion 2, like I said before, are pretty similar in the midsole. They both have a firmer feeling midsole, but that does nonetheless feel responsive. They feel pretty similar. And they also in their footprint too, although, the Sinister definitely has a more minimal footprint. I mean, just look how much less ground contact there is in the middle and in the midfoot there. Quite a lot less. But yet there was no point during that 5K yesterday where I felt like I was kind of doing this, like where I was tipping from one side to the other. And I'm not like, 120 pounds or anything. I'm like 175 pounds. So I felt really stable. This shoe had that quality that I look for in shoes of any, for any kind of running purpose, which is that it let me forget about it for most of the run. I never felt like my toes were being smashed or the shoe was tipping from side to side. It felt surprisingly, I know this is kind of a wishy-washy or even marketing word to some, but it felt natural. And that word can mean different things, from different brands. Many might mean wide toe boxes or lower drop, things like that. So this would technically have neither of those two qualities, but it just felt so natural. It, of course, like any shoe with this low stack, almost any shoe with this low stack and no rods or plate, it's very flexible. These two shoes, though, are almost as flexible. You really are not going to go wrong with track day on either of these shoes. The Cyclone 2's midsole feels quite different. It has that bouncy, lively, softer, squishy feel. I'm not sure which of these three would be fastest in terms of racing, but for track day, for me, I guess what it really comes down to is like which is giving me the most benefit of feeling the ground. And for your track workouts like that, with how rarely you may do them, once a week at the most, maybe less during base building times, giving yourself that rare opportunity to really feel the ground and feel your foot flexing through every stride, and in a shoe that really allows you to flex all the way through the stride is great. To show these two again, of these three, the Hyperion 2 probably has the best outsole. I can't say I noticed any problems with this Saucony. It looks kind of minimal just in the image here, but just running my thumb across it, it feels kind of grippy. I didn't have any problems with it yesterday. The track was dry, but the Cyclone 2's outsole I haven't been too impressed with. It doesn't look particularly impressive. It has no contours on it, really, like even the Sinister has. But I did do a half marathon in it in the rain, really wet half marathon a few weeks ago, or a month ago now in it. It didn't really have any problems. So anyway, all that is to say, if you're looking for a track shoe and you're curious to try something as light and minimal and give you that old school track and field feeling that maybe some of you like me haven't felt since, high school or college days, I would highly recommend the Sinister. Get your hands on a pair if you still can. I'm sure they're around eBay. Really fun shoe. Really cool shoe. That seems to be the only comment I could muster as my brain was deprived of sugar cooling down from my time trial. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. I'm going to probably still continue to use these two or begin to use these two more for almost daily easy miles as lightweight daily trainers than for speed shoes. And then this might, for a while, the Sinister might take over my track days anyway. Still using these two for kind of moderate length workouts that are not on the track, but are more around like the park, where the pavement is definitely a lot rougher. And if you watched this whole video, kudos to you, and you saw what kind of urban environment I'm contending with. That construction that I went through, it's rough around the streets of St. Louis. I certainly would not wear this around there. But anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope you're inspired to look for not only the Saucony Sinister, but see if in the year to come, the new year, if any other brands are wanting to make a shoe like this. In these crazy moon shoe times, I would be surprised if too many models like that come out. And I don't know if Saucony is updating this one with a version 2. I didn't see anything about that at TRE, but anyway, that is about it for this one. I hope this was useful to y'all. And I hope you're enjoying your runs out there. Be well.